Hello everybody, welcome to day 4. Again, I hope you can all hear me. I'm always working with these stinking earbud things, and usually they work good, but occasionally it doesn't. So if you can't hear me, type it in so I can read it. Happy Thursday. We have just one day after today left of our free trial course, so bittersweet. I know that yesterday was gut day, and like I said, that is genuinely my thing. It's what everybody gets really excited about. But today, you guys are actually the first group of students getting to experience today, focusing on our brand new stress strategy and meditation course. We've always put stress in this day. We've always focused on kind of how we focus on and deal with mindset. But now that we have this evolutionary new course and setup, you guys are the first ones that get to actually experience today and hear more about the stress connection and all that. In fact, I have to be honest with you, I think a lot of my students don't even know, my current students don't even know necessarily the extent of this current course, how it came about, why it is, how impactful it is, how intricate it is. It's been a lot of work. I've had some excellent partners to do it. So first, let's just talk a little bit about stress. I mean, all of us as coaches and individuals probably have addressed time and time again why stress is such a major component of health and wellness, how it holds us back, how it messes with our body and our health and our wellness. And we acknowledge it, but I think our understanding of it is actually, I know that even mine was, even with, all my education and the things that I know, my knowledge of the physiology of stress and the deeper aspect of it and the overwhelming direction of it was very immature. It was very naive. And so this has been a mind-blowing experience to be able to take part and do this research, to be able to bring this stuff to you guys. So just a little bit about stress in general is that, stress is one of those things that we think, hi ladies. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I'm on office day today, not home day, if you didn't notice. So it's a little echoey in here. It's like one of those eco buildings, I think, so it's kind of industrial sounding. But anyways, so stress is something that is actually a subjective terminology as far as the way that we view stress. We view stress as, like we said in the handout today or in the assignment today, stress is chaos. It's when things are stressful, right? Well, scientifically, stress is actually nothing unless the body is responding to the stress. And so, for instance, you could have a situation that is stressful to one person and not to the other, and one person is going to have a physiological stress response and negatively affect their health or wellness, and the other isn't going to be affected at all because they don't have an emotional involvement with that situation. So stress is really truly, like I said, kind of a subjective, it is a scientific thing, but there's multiple forms of stress. So we have chemical stress as far as what is in our body, what's in our environment, what's, physically, chemicals in our food, and in even just unhealthy food, and how we are chemically affecting our bodies and causing the body to go into a state of stress and inflammation. We have physical, stress where if you were experiencing chronic pain or issues, it can put you into a state of stress. Some of these chronic conditions physically are, one thing is we have actually brought a few people, experts into this course to explain from their perspective how not all physical stress even causes physical pain. We don't notice physical stress unless we feel the pain from it, but unfortunately, not all of these physical stressors actually cause pain until they exacerbate to a certain extent. And then also we have emotional stress, and that's what most of us can connect to is emotional stress, when something stresses us out, when we are driving and the traffic is bad, or our kids are making us crazy, or we go through a tragic state of life. We think of that as stress, and that is another form of stress. And so what we're learning is more and more about how actually our modern day world isn't just stressful in the obvious ways. It's stressing on us in ways that we don't understand or know. And these stressors are standing in the way not only of our wellness and well-being, they're standing in the way of our goals in multiple ways. So, personal story, this is the first time I'm sharing this. This winter, kind of a little before Christmas time, my oldest son, who's 6 years old, he has been having, he's always kind of shown, for a while we actually got his hearing checked because we just felt like he would be looking right at you and he would say things like, what, and he just, what? And so we'd be like, are you not hearing us? And just following direction was really rough for him. And he's not a bad kid at all. He is so soft-hearted. He's very kind. He does special things for people. Has a bunch of friends, has a killer personality. Just really, really good kid, but really struggling. The kid that if you tell him, hey, don't run in the house, you could tell him over and over and over again and it just doesn't register. And it's not been until about age 6. There's been a few other things too. His speech was severely delayed, which I was just told is something that just kind of can happen. It's now decent. He still has some struggles, but he really didn't talk very well. He would talk, but you could not understand him very well till like age 4.5. But he was my first, and so I didn't know. Anyway, long story short, finally we just have started running into some issues with how to discipline him, or just handle some of his tendencies, because you could give him consequences over and over and over again, no matter how severe they are, and he's still just not able to control these like impulsive behaviors. So it's like this, we realize it's more of a developmental issue, and it's not outright obvious because it's not something like full-blown autism or something like that. So I actually talked to a few people who I have really close to me, one being my aunt, who had a master's in child developmental psychology, one being a good friend of mine who's a chiropractor who specializes in neurodevelopmental issues with children. And they both had seen signs a long time ago and kind of were just waiting for me to bring it to their attention. So we did this, and as rough as it kind of was, and he's going to start doing some really cool new therapies, alternative things with Amy, but as rough as this was, it was good to realize, because what she said is, kids like this have it the worst because we have these adult expectations, or these expectations of them that are beyond their ability. And it's not fair because they don't seem like they have an ability or a disability in certain ways. So we have these expectations of them, and it's just disappointment, and we don't handle things right when they do make, bad choices or struggle with something and all this kind of stuff. So as much as it was kind of a moment for me, it was also a very enlightening experience. And through doing that, I had already been working really hard on this stress course, because we'd realized how stress, which we're going to talk about in just a minute, really stands in the way of our clients and even ourselves when it comes to making dietary and lifestyle changes and goals and finding motivation to do things or break habits or plan ahead. Everybody has all these challenges, and I've done polls, and we're going to do some more today. And when you ask people, what's the hardest thing about dieting, or what's the hardest thing about this or that, they may have similar, a lot of similar answers. They may be kind of different, but generally they're all some type of stress relation. And so if we can eliminate stress, or learn to understand it and control it and guide it better, we can have monumental effects on the people that we are helping and dealing with. So back to my son. So I'd already been doing this work, and I went to the lecture about this special focus group that my good friend, very intelligent woman herself, let me just say that, she's not a kook in any way. Well, she is a chiropractor. She also specializes in neurodevelopmental issues with children. She has herself created this 3-dimensional approach to dealing with kids with special needs, and she has had such insane success. Pretty soon she's actually going to do something online, so if anybody ever needs this help, please seek me out, because she does some webinars and stuff, and pretty soon she's going to be putting something together specifically for people with kids with learning disabilities all the way to full-blown disorders. But anyways, so going to one of her lectures, because I called her up and I was like, I feel bad. I can tell something's not right. Nothing's working. Something's just missing. And so she explained how children's development goes, and she played into so much of what I was already researching and learning with this stress strategy course. Is she explained basically that when our body is in a state of stress, or fight or flight, which I know all you guys are familiar with, we cannot be in a state of growth at the exact same time. So we cannot grow and be stressed. And so a lot of these kids with these challenges, you know how much we develop at such an early age in life, right? So kids they're just sponges and their brains are developing and so much is going on. And so when there's all these different stress disruptions in these different ways, chemical, physical, environmental, emotional, everything, it really messes with their process. Now, that's not to say it's our fault that our kids struggle, I mean, I think it probably is. I've contributed to things that he struggles with, but basically it's just that stuff gets in the way. And that was brilliant to me because it also played into everything I was learning, even about adults. And coming from, a place where I'd had, struggled with panic and anxiety like my whole life, I've learned so much about how to control it very well now at this stage at almost 33. But so much of my life I struggled with that. And so another way to look at that is if you've ever experienced a panic attack or any form of fear, like if you go to, you almost get in a car accident, okay, and it's like, whoa, and it was really close and you're okay, and then immediately following it, and your heart's racing and your legs are jello-y and you're just like, oh my God, someone goes, hey, what's 5 + 7? As easy as a math problem as that is, when you are in that state of fight or flight, it is almost impossible for you to cognitively figure that out. I mean, you could maybe calm yourself down enough, and maybe it's kind of, you have some memorization stuff, but all in all, those two things can't happen in the same time, in the same space. So what are we doing when we're making lifestyle changes? What are we doing when we're working on our relationships and our parenting and things with our kids and changing our diets, especially strict regimens when we're trying to really hardcore heal our gut? What are we doing? We are growing, we are evolving. And imagine, no wonder it is so hard sometimes to achieve some of these things, because the overwhelming amount of stress, not just that we acknowledge, but the stuff that we're unaware is even happening to us and happening to our bodies. And it is putting our body in a constant state of overload. I mean, imagine what it would be like leaving, you wouldn't leave the house and, leave your furnace running in an abandoned rental building that no one's in for 9 months. Why would you do that? It's got a warranty on the furnace. It only has so many years left to life. You're paying for it each month out of utilities. Why wouldn't you shut it off until you were, bringing people in? It just doesn't make sense. Well, that's what we're doing to our bodies. We are just burning them out. And when that part of your responses is going off, the restorative functions that your body needs to do innately cannot happen so well. Like we know when you're stressed out, this is how it ties in the gut, you guys. And this is why I think that putting these two things together is the most incredible thing we've ever been able to do. And, when you're in a state of stress, your body prioritizes what it prioritizes what it needs to do. So in a state of stress, your body doesn't get why or, that it's chronic and it needs to chill, slow your roll. What it does is it understands that you're in a state of stress. You need to flee danger. So it pumps the blood to your heart and gets you all jazzed up. Well, in doing so, it takes it away from your gut. So your gut is not functioning normal. That's why, when we get really worked up, stressed out, all of a sudden we've got these tummy-related issues and stuff too. It pulls from all kinds of normal functionality that needs to go on in your body in order to support this eminent need. But we're chronically doing this to our bodies. And like I said, it's even more so than what we acknowledge. It was even mind-blowing for me to sit back and go, well, I'll be darned. Here I only acknowledge the stress that is really obvious to me. I didn't acknowledge all the other stress and all the things that go by a lot quieter. So anyways, this new course is awesome. We have, it is available individually on its own. It is also able to be combined in conjunction with the gut and health coaching, and for current health coaches who wish to add this for, just more dynamic abilities. So it is super cool. We teach a lot about the physiology of stress. There's lots of scientific facts and stuff that will just really, really blow your mind. It will incorporate how to do stress strategy coaching with individuals. And we have them, it hooks also to the meditation course. We brought in Cindy Ray, who is a Chopra Center trained meditation therapist, and she is doing an 8 or 9 video series on different types of meditation for eating, meditation for sleep and stress, and etc. We also bring in tools. We've had our own special tools branded. It's a separate business. It's kind of we didn't expect to do that. It was kind of crazy, but anyways, where we use aids. So we teach people how to use different tools and things in conjunction. So when they are in a state of stress, to start linking that to things that are not unhealthy habits or just festering emotional issues, because sometimes we're going to have stress, so we use things like we have some really specific special organic herbal teas we use. We have 5 different essential oil blends that we've had specially made. I'm a big proponent of essential oils. I don't do any kind of MLMs with them. We don't advocate any specific brand. The stuff we use, we get really high quality stuff from the distributor, and we're unassociated. We only have 5 blends in there for the 5 purposes of stress-related issues. So we don't take the rest of it, stuff that you're going to use for illnesses and conditions and all that stuff. I mean, that's not an area we're touching, and then we also use color therapy, visual color therapy, which I've used for a long time. I actually use it with my son when he needs to calm down, when he needs to focus on his homework. And I've been able to use a little bit of my hypnotherapy training in some of this stuff too, along with other people who, are really skilled professionals. So you guys, it has been the coolest thing. What I want to open up today, and I see you want more info on Dr. Amy, and Kira's local. So yeah, I will give that to you because she's amazing, and her next lecture is on the 17th. So, but even for you, those of you at a distance, I can definitely give you her information too, because she does do some webinars, and she will soon be having some things available online if anybody has children with challenges that is interested in that information. For everybody else who's here about the coaching and the stress strategy part of all this, I want to open up the topic of discussion. Now, I asked this a little while ago. I said, because I'm going to have another book coming out probably in the next year, and it's going to be on kind of a different aspect of health, and it's going to talk a lot about stress and lifestyle and the ebbs and flows of challenges of all these things. But I asked everybody, I said, hey, give me, what is your one thing that you associate with when you think of diet? What's one emotion or word that you link to that? And then 2, what is your greatest challenge for sticking to a diet or lifestyle change? And I want to open up that topic again right under this video here. Let's just keep the video going so that everybody does get a chance to see it. This is, like I said, this one's the most informative one you're going to see all week. And let's just talk about what is it that stands in your way. And this is where we put together, because and this is why we do the life coach first thing. That's why we say that and refer to that, is because we have the power to work with people and start from a different place. If we can kind of direct how they look at making lifestyle changes, we can help them through the strictness of making some of these lifestyle changes. And I'm implementing this with some of my local clients here. We're doing some of the stress strategy stuff alongside the gut health stuff that we're working on. So this component of health coaching and wellness coaching and just life in general, I think even the people that end up taking this stress strategy and meditation course all by itself, have no interest in nutrition coaching, are going to have their work cut out for them with accepting people if they can start helping educate the public on stress and helping people develop their 4-point plan. Like, I have my plan, I have my whole arsenal of how I combat my stress, and it's not as complicated as you think. It's a lot of preventative, proactive things, and I have a knowledge now so that I can spot those things that are sneaking in my life. I can spot them a little bit more in my children, I can spot them more in my spouse and in my environment, and especially in my clients. And so yeah, you guys, this is so exciting. So please, below, just comment if you got any questions. Comment, and 2, if you want to pipe in, what is it that makes dieting sound? What word or emotion do you associate with the word diet? And what is your greatest challenge when making a dietary or lifestyle change? What is the one thing that you think sabotages you the most? Is it a specific food, event, or thing? What is it that sabotages you the most? Because what we're going to find with everybody's answers is that the real answers go so much deeper than what we think sabotages us. So I want to open up this discussion today. That's what I want to focus on today, you guys. And thank you for watching this video. This one meant a lot to me. It was the first time I got to share that stuff about my son I haven't shared that with anybody. And I know a lot of my coaches and my students, get to see these videos too for the school. So I know that you guys will get filled in on all this through watching this. I'll probably share this in our closed elite group too. So thank you guys so much. You've been so awesome. Thank you for your support. And I hope that we can all, relate to some of these things and enjoy today. And I look forward to corresponding with you more on those two focuses today. So have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.